Hello, everyone. This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 6. As always, here's our disclosures. This content is intended for educational purposes only, not giving you any investment advice, not tailored to any one individual. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and all investments involve risk. Here's our agenda. We got another jam-packed week. I'll cover the news, go over the indices, and then go over some companies that I think might provide us with some opportunities this week. Here's our week 5 results. Provided 31 zones last week, went 6-0 this week, had a decent week. No entry was 22. In progress right now is PayPal, Pepsi, and TTWO. Here's the earning outlook. Like I said, a jam-packed week. Pretty much got possible opportunities on a daily basis this week. And I went ahead and I updated where we're at. And on the year, we are 9-1. Moving into the news for this week, as you can see on Monday, February 10th, there is nothing going on. Just be realized for those of you trading futures and forex, it is a bank holiday for the Japanese yen, so there'll probably be little to no activity on Monday for that. Moving on to Tuesday, the British pound will be affected pre-market, and then 30 minutes into the open, be mindful that Fed Powell will be testifying. See what he says. We might have some volatility 30 minutes after the open, so be mindful of that. Moving on to Wednesday, pre-market, we got core CPI and 3 CPI reports. So once the market opens, depending on what that happens there, we might have some volatility. And then we got Jerome Powell speaking again on 30 minutes into the open. So be mindful that might be some increased volatility for you. Then nothing till the evening. For those of you trading the New Zealand dollar, be mindful that you have a report after hours. And the British pound has a report as well. Moving on to Thursday, we got another PPI report and core PPI report pre-market. So that can possibly cause volatility at the open of the market with unemployment claims being reported as well. And then finishing with Friday, we have retail sales pre-market. So that can possibly provide some volatility at the open of the market. And that's going to do it for the news. Moving into the charts this week, starting with the SPX, we had a nice uh, drawdown or sell off at the end of the day on Friday. With that being said, there is no supply in the SPX or the SPY. So the first demand zone I have for you is going to be 5858.53 to 5802.48. Be mindful that there is another zone right below it at 5771.74 and 5692.35. Once again, there is no supply currently in the S&P 500. Moving on to the NASDAQ. And there we go. Our level is still holding on the supply side. Just be mindful. We tried to test this again and we couldn't get through it. That supply level is going to be 21,913.56 to 22,062.24. On the demand side, we're going to do the 2540.51 to 2383.87. And that's the NASDAQ for you. Moving into the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, no supply either. However, turning, looking a little bit weaker. And the first demand zone I have for you is going to be 433.26 to 430.46. And finally, the rut. So for the rut, still just moving sideways, not a lot of action. Our same levels from pretty much the entire year are still holding. That first supply level I have for you is 2333.73 to 2370.13. And the level from November still hasn't reached. So just in the event of an overshoot, you got the 2412 to 2461. On the demand side, we're waiting for the 2018.33 to 1956.32. Now, Moving into earnings, first company I have for you is good old McDonald's. On the demand side, 267.49 to 261.70. On the supply side, 312.95 to 318.01. Next, Monday, on the demand side, 145.87 to 122.35. And on the supply side, 325.31 to 451.68. Next company is ON. On the demand side, 39.37 to 33.89. And on the supply side, 89.25 to 92.81. Next company I have for you is Latisse. On the demand side, 45.17 to 42.73. In the event of an overshoot, we have another level here at 36.17 to 32.39. On the supply side, 74 even to 78.51. Next company is MedP. On the demand side, 286.68 to 266.82. On the supply side, 420.25 to 440.89. Next, Inspire. On the demand side, 152.58 to 137.39. On the supply side, 244.71 to 258.17. Next, we got Rockwell Automation. On the demand side, 231.42 to 210. On the supply side, 304.48 to 317.57. Next, good old Coca-Cola. On the demand side, this is the level that's been holding it up. Just be mindful that this level has worked already. The level is 60.65 to 59.72. On the supply side, we got 69.49 to 71.22. Next company is Humana. So on the demand side, 214.64 to 185.7. On the supply side, 338.74 to 349.04. Next, we got SMCI. Super Micro here. On the demand side, 12.25 to 639. On the supply side, 59.65 to 63.87. In the event of overshoot, you have another level here at 66.44 to 73.03. Next company I have for you is DoorDash. So, no, I stand corrected. On the supply side, 216.11 to 257.57. On the demand side, 131.46 to 120.24. Next is Lyft. On the demand side, 11.83 to 10.60. On the supply side, 16.95 to 19.08. Next company, CVS. On the demand side, 48, let's call it 48 even to 42.72 on the demand side. On the supply side, be mindful that this level has already worked. It's going to be 66.66 to 68.19. And in the event of an overshoot, you have another level here at 73.40 to 75.28. Next, we got gold. On the demand side, 14.76 to 14.22. On the supply side, 20.37 to 21.43. Be mindful that this level has worked numerous times. So in the event of an overshoot, you got 22.2 to 23.41. Next, we got Generac. On the demand side, 110.08 to 73.68. On the supply side, 213.64 to 301.02. Next company is Tenet. On the demand side, 99.79 to 89.91. And I have no supply for you in this company. Next is Vert. On the demand side, 88.83 to 83.68. On the supply side, 148.12 to 156.29. Next, got Biogen. So on the demand side, 107.77 to 84.32. And on the supply side 239.79 to 252.11. Next, we got Kraft Heinz. It is sitting in a level as we speak. This level is 30.87 to 27.91. However, somewhat depleted. So if you don't want to take that level, I have another level for you here at 25.35 to 23.36. Both of these levels being demand. And on the supply side, we got 38.56 to 39.39. Next, we got Cisco. So for Cisco, no supply for you on the demand side, 53.30 to 51.96. Moving on to Crop. On the demand side, 72.59 to 66.50. And on the supply side, 171.45 to 183.90. Next, we got John Deere. No supply on John Deere, just recently made all new time highs at 485.84. The first demand level I have for you is 345.55 to 328.63. With that being said, I just saw this. More aggressive level, you got 439.84 to 426.18. Next, GEHC. Close to this supply level, this is the level that's been holding it. It made an all-time high back in October at 94.55. Supply zone being 91.46 to 94.39. On the demand side, 74.67 to 71.23. Next, we got Coinbase. So Coinbase on the supply side, 342.23 to 371.26. Be mindful that this level has already worked. On the demand side, we got 150.36 to 136.21. Next, we got Twillo. On the demand side, 114.06 to 192.73. And I believe there is no supply on this company. So that's good. Do that for Twillo. Next, we got DraftKings. So for DraftKings on the supply side, we got 45.79 to 51.85. On the demand side, we got 25.09 to 22.20. Next is AMAT. So AMAT on the supply side, 239.87 to 249.06. And on the demand side, we got 153.38 to 143.98. Next, we got Airbnb. So for Airbnb, we got 105.94 to 97.39. And on the supply side, we got 155.77 to 158.71. Airbnb has done absolutely nothing since September. Moving on to Win. On the demand side, we got 77.59 to 73.19. On the supply side, we got 105.85 to 110.50. And we have Moderna. Moderna has been sitting in this level for quite some time. We've pretty much been here since November. Let's unpack this luggage hanging out here. We got 34.90 to 17.67 on the demand side. On the supply side, 114.29 to 129.89. And that's going to do it for our charts. For those of you who are not doing so already, do me a favor and follow me on social media. Check out my blog on the website. For those of you who have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me. Until next week, happy trading. Stay safe out there.